There was once a kind-hearted young man named Aaron. But despite his gentle nature, sadness always followed him. He felt like everything he ever tried ended in failure. He would sit alone, thinking about his classmates and friends. "They're all ahead of me," he would whisper. "Why can't I ever get something right? Maybe I just don't have any talent." He repeated this cycle so many times until one day he truly believed that he was the problem, that he was weak, useless, worthless, that maybe he wasn't meant for anything at all. And little by little, he began to hate himself. One day, while walking down the street, lost in thought and despair, Aaron ran into John, an old classmate from high school, someone who used to sit with him in the very last row, someone who wasn't even good at school. They greeted each other warmly. Aaron asked, "So, what are you up to these days?" John smiled and said, "I started a hosting company. Honestly, I've built the life I always dreamed of. I've surrounded myself with talented people, and business is going great." Aaron was stunned. "How is that even possible? You weren't any better than me at school. You were worse." John laughed. "It's a long story, my friend. But tell me, what about you?" Aaron looked down. "Nothing much. I feel like I'm not made for anything. I've lost hope in myself." John nodded. "I know exactly how you feel. I was once in the same place. But I met someone, a wise man who changed my life. His name is Master Charles. Go see him. Tell him everything. He'll help you." He gave Aaron an address, and they said goodbye. That night, Aaron couldn't stop thinking, how could John, someone with no special talent, be so successful, so happy, so confident? The next day, he made up his mind and went to see Master Charles. The master lived in a large farmhouse on the edge of town. When Aaron arrived, the old man was already waiting at the door. "Welcome, my boy," he said kindly. Aaron told him everything about his failures in school, his failed attempts at work, his broken dreams of becoming a football player. And finally, with trembling lips and tears in his eyes, he said, "I'm useless, master. I'm nothing. Nothing at all." Master Charles gently placed his hand on Aaron's shoulder. He said softly, "Thank you for sharing your story. Wait here a moment." A few minutes later, he returned and led Aaron into another room. There was a large table filled with small clay pots, all placed upside down in neat rows. "Under one of these pots," the master said, "lies the answer to your problem. Find it." Aaron hesitated, then flipped the first pot. Nothing. He looked at the master, who nodded. "Try another one." He flipped another. Still nothing. Another, nothing again. Frustration began to rise inside him. Finally, when only a few pots remained, Aaron sighed. "Master Charles, even for this I'm not good enough. I can't do anything right." The master said calmly, "Keep going." Aaron flipped the last pot and found a small folded piece of paper underneath. His heart raced as he opened it, but the paper was blank. "It's empty. There's nothing written on it. Why?" The master smiled. "Yes, it's blank, and that's exactly the point. Listen, my boy. The goal itself doesn't matter as much as the process of reaching it. Your struggle, your effort, that's what shapes you. Life is full of paths, just like these pots you turned over. As long as you keep trying, as long as you refuse to give up, you will find your way. A dead end isn't failure. It's a lesson. Each one brings you closer to who you're meant to be. True failure only happens when you stop trying. Even your mistakes deserve respect because they are proof that you tried. Talent or luck won't save you. Only effort will. The greatest people in history weren't necessarily the smartest. They were simply the ones who never stopped working. The world doesn't see the countless hours they spent alone, the tears, the frustration, the failures. It only sees the final result and calls it talent or genius or luck, but they know the truth. Effort is painful, it's exhausting, but it's the price life demands for growth. And remember this: the greater the goal, the greater the struggle required to reach it. Accept that truth, and you will succeed. Tears filled Aaron's eyes as he nodded. He realized that all the pain and self-blame he'd carried was never failure. It was part of the process. You're supposed to hurt. You're supposed to struggle, but never stop. He thanked the master and left with a heart full of hope. From that day, he started trying new things without judging himself. He explored, experimented, failed again, tried again, until one day he discovered his true passion: writing. He wrote every single day. Even when he didn't feel like it, he wrote at least a few paragraphs. He read the works of great authors, and though sometimes he grew tired or frustrated, he reminded himself this is the process. Years passed, and one day Aaron published a novel that spread across the city, a story that touched countless hearts. When people asked him, "What's the secret of your success?" he smiled and said, "It's simple, my friend. Believe in yourself and never stop trying. Success isn't talent or luck. It's effort, and effort alone."